Hey, this is George with the New Hunter's Guide, the YouTube channel and podcast helping new hunters get started and helping active hunters learn new things. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to find a good spot for deer hunting. But this is not going to be a lecture. I'm going to show you several good spots that I use, help you identify what makes them a good spot, and enable you to find spots of your own. All right, let's get to it. All right, I'm walking out here on the trail. And this, guys, this is one of my best spots here that we're at right now. Now, we just came in on this deer trail right here, which was a natural trail that I, made a little bit wider and smoother and easier to walk on. That trail right here goes straight across all the way and continues down that side. So we're standing on what was a natural deer trail, which I augmented and modified some. Then, so you got the trail right here. Right down here is another deer trail. They come up this hill, and not just there, straight down this hill. So they come up here, and they come up there, they come over here, and they come over there, right? So if you're counting, that's a four-way intersection. Also right up here towards the top, there's another trail, and then straight there is another one. And I'm parked up on a gas line road up there. So where we're at right now is a conversion point of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different deer trails, all coming together, all converging on this one spot. So this is a natural deer hotspot, always has been on this property. And then several years back, the power company came through and they decided to cut this clearing underneath the power lines. So let me show you right here. There's a power line, goes straight up and over top of us, down the other side. So they cut this whole clearing here underneath the power line. So I came in and saw, you know what, that's bare dirt. This is an opportunity. So I planted some clover here, and then I expanded their cutting out a little bit more. So this is about maybe 1/10 of an acre maximum, and I planted some clover. Now this is not a food plot. This is a plot sweetener. Okay, this is not really a destination. Deer come through here all the time. And when I added the clover, it added a little bit more draw. And now instead of just walking through, they stop and nibble. So they used to come through here for 10 seconds. Now they stay for a couple minutes. And some deer do feed here. They might be here for an hour or two. But for the most part, it just makes it a more attractive place. They come, it's not too wide, it's not too big. And they come together and eat. Now, what's that cost? I've done some podcast episodes on the subject, go into it in some serious detail. But, I put down, I don't know, $20 worth of pelletized lime, 2 or 3 pounds of clover, which is $10 at the Agway. You can get the best stuff on the planet online, maybe for $15 to cover the same amount. And then I use a weed whacker to just cut down everything else that was left. So that was it. That's all it took to put in this clover plot. And of course, since we got a nice hunting spot, right here I've got a mock scrape hanging right there. I just did a video, released that a few weeks back about how to set those up, what they are, what they mean. And of course, wherever you have a mock scrape, you also have a trail camera right there, keeping an eye on the scrape, cataloging all the deer that come through here, and where you have a good convergence place, a good place to hunt, and a scrape, and a camera, you gotta have a spot to hunt. So I've got a hunting blind up there on the hill. This would be a great spot for a tree stand, but there are just no good trees. The one you see behind me is dead and soon rotting to fall down. But that hunting blind, because it's up in the elevation some, up on that ridge, it works a lot like a tree stand does. So we get a lot of deer action here. This is a great spot, and it's a great spot naturally. I worked on it some to make it better. I added some clover to make it a little bit sweeter for the deer, and I probably see more deer here than anywhere else. This time of year, I'm averaging 100 to 200 videos a week just in this spot. And of course, that's not all of them. That's just between the trail camera and the scrape. Deer come through here above and below, top and bottom, that you don't even see. And from my blind to the very, very back there of the food plot, of the clover patch, is 40 yards. So I've got a good shot. Depending on what I'm using, I can reach all the way, almost all the way out there, and it's a great place. Now, let's head on to the next spot. All right, now we're coming to another good spot. This one's a little bit different than the last one, maybe a little easier to identify. So right here where I'm standing right now, we got some bare ground, we're in the woods. Right down here is a trail. Follow that one in, straight to the other side. It goes this way. Ends in a field. So this is a natural movement corridor. Deer are coming from that field into the woods. They're going from the woods into the field. There's also another fork right here, trail that goes up this way, up towards where there's some buildings and stuff, sheds and whatnot. And then over here, there's actually another trail. I don't think, yeah, you can see it a little bit. And that trail goes up this way. So I'm standing right here in the middle of a three-way intersection, but there's really another trail over there. So there's 4 trails that converge right about in this spot. And there's even a few more trails that crisscross down behind me. And then some others that sort of come along the edge of that field. You might have bucks that are skirting the edge of the field, sniffing for does, but they don't want to walk out in the open in daylight. All of this is within range of this tree stand right here, which you can probably barely see in the video, but that's only about 20 yards from where I'm standing. And of course, right here, I've got a mock scrape hanging. And then where you've got a mock scrape, you got a trail cam. And where you have a mock scrape and a trail cam, you also have a tree stand. Now this spot, this is a $0 spot pretty much. Of course, you know, you got a trail camera if you want to put one up. But all I did was I worked to augment this natural deer trail here just to make it a little more defined, get a little bit more use for it. I didn't plant anything, didn't spend any money. This is just a natural movement area. Now the field is actually not on the property that I'm able to hunt. So, but I can hunt those deer coming from and to that field, and this is a really good spot for that. All right, let's go check out another one. All right, now we're at our third and last spot for this video. So this place that I'm at right now, miles away from the last 2 that I showed you. And this place, as you might be able to guess, is an intersection. So straight ahead over here, there's a big deer trail. Over there, there's another deer trail that intersects that one. Over here, we've got a field. And not a field, but an open area. Deer spend a lot of time over here. They're loafing, they come and they hang out throughout the season. There's some thick brush. It's good cover and security for them. There's another trail that runs right over there. Straight ahead, there's a trail. And then all throughout the back there, crisscrosses trails. And also straight back there, good ways, is a bedding area. So this spot right here is an intersection where deer are already at, where they already spend time. They're already coming through here. They move through here on the trails, and then they loaf around here in the open area. So then what did I do? Well, right here, I planted some more clover all the way around here. Just cleared a little bit of ground. This is not even, this is so small you can't even measure it in fractions of an acre. It's like 10 yards across the middle, 30 yards across. It's just a little sweetener, something that'll still be green late into the fall, that'll give them something to come for, something to snack on. And then of course, wherever we've got that, we've got a mock scrape right here. And then right here, we've got a trail cam on top of that scrape. And then wherever we've got a mock scrape and a trail cam, of course, we're gonna have a hunting blind right over there, or a tree stand. Now this would be a good place for a tree stand as opposed to a hunting blind. I picked the hunting blind here because this is a place that I want to be able to hunt with other people. So I purposely got a gigantic hunting blind that'll fit 3 or 4 guys, only 2 really, but to get 2-person blind, you got to get one that fits 3 or 4 on paper. So I could come up here and hunt archery with some friends and have a place to go to be able to go out as a team for people that, you know, aren't necessarily ready for tree stands and all that. So to summarize, you know, what you've seen through all 3 of these places is that each one is a place where deer want to go. It's a place where deer want to be. It's a place where they're already coming, they're already going, they're already moving through this area. We got trails, we've got open areas. We're using deer movement, trying to identify that movement and then set up with some cover in a tree or in a blind. And then we take it to the next level. We add a mock scrape, and what that does is focus deer movement. That helps us with the camera so we can get a better census of what deer are in the area, and it also gives a good place for deer to stop and get you a shot at them. And then where I was able to, we planted a little clover. Now, if you've got the tools and resources to plant something better than clover, then have at it. But it's cheap, it's easy, it grows back year after year, and it makes just a great little sweetener after everything else starts to go gray in the fall. And it's great for turkeys in the spring also. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other kind of videos would be interesting, would be helpful, what you'd like to see next. I really appreciate you guys. Till next time, God bless you, and go get them in the woods.